but
he's not
this
that.
doesn't sound like that. Yeah. So like when you're dating or when you're choosing a guy, like what are you thinking about marrying somebody who's gonna like be there through thick and thin and take care of you no matter what, or are you just kind of going for whoever's cute and funny, or like what are you thinking of when you're choosing a guy?
I feel like right now, I just haven't been making like good decisions when I'm thinking about choosing men, obviously. But I feel like for the future, I do want to get married and have kids and stuff like that. But I just feel like this generation is so like messed up, and I feel like I could just have stayed true to me and not fed into all of the toxicity, but I feel like I allowed it and have continuously been allowing it to mold me into someone else. But also I want to add that my mom still is a good mother. I love her. We were just going through a lot when I was younger. I was very rebellious, but that's my best friend.
That makes sense. I was going to ask, actually, when you say you were rebellious, do you feel like you end up with these guys because part of you is trying to do the strong, independent woman thing, like I don't need a man, I can do it myself, but at the same time you want somebody, so you end up with a guy who is okay with you being strong, independent, single woman, who also turns out to be the kind of guy who's going to freak out if you get pregnant and not want to commit and all that?
I feel like you have a really good point there. I don't feel like I ever thought of it like that. Yeah, because even when I was like being very rebellious, I was just always, I just don't like rules, I guess. I don't like for there to be like any rules on things.
You like beta men?
Yeah.
Sorry, guys.
Yeah.
Huh?
Like I don't want to. Yeah.
Well, that's the thing. If you want the kind of guy who's going to handle business, he can't also be the same kind of guy that's going to constantly let you step on his dick.
Yeah.
Literally.
Dick stepping.
Yeah.
Literally.
Dick stepping.
Yeah.
She can tell you, I'm kind of.
I'm holding my tongue, guys. It's not my story.
No.
It's not my story.
Throw her under the bus.
Yeah,
Tell us.
Listen, I can't talk because my must be kind of messed up too. But I will say I'm 4 years older, and to experience the things that she goes through, I'm like, you're just young. But I feel like you really do need to understand that you deserve better and stop being comfortable, because at the end of the day, it's just being comfortable at this point.
Yeah.
I get really annoyed with the "you're just young" thing, because you're pretty close to the same age, and I don't know if that's like the best. Like you felt like accountability, I think, also is like,
for sure,
like needs to happen as well. And there's a lot of people who are young.
What I will say is that we don't exactly come from the same place, but I have an understanding, because when I was her age, I had a similar mindset. So for me, it's just like, that's how I thought when I was younger. So it's like, I give her grace, but at the same time, I do step in and be like, you need to take accountability. I'm like, you literally made this happen. You allowed this to happen. So, but I understand.
To allow it to happen.
I mean, I was just going to say, we are definitely allowed to make mistakes, and we should be making mistakes. But yeah, we need to have that awareness as we're making those mistakes. And then that's when I think it's okay. It's if we're making those mistakes and repeating those mistakes when it becomes a problem.
Yeah, repetition builds habits, whether it's healthy or not. So.
Word.
Can I ask, do you regret the abortions?
Yes and no, because I don't think that I should be having children with a man that doesn't even want to take any type of responsibility. I would like to be in a household with, the healthy family dynamic. I would like that, but definitely. I do understand that people have their beliefs, and like I said, it wasn't really something that I wanted to do, but I had to, and I regret it, and I don't, basically.
Yeah, I definitely agree. I think that children do deserve to be born to like a mother and a father who love them and will give them everything that they deserve. But I do think that consequences have actions, and I believe that if you're having sex, then you should be willing to accept the consequence that you could conceive a child with that person. And we shouldn't have sex with people we don't want to have kids with.
Yeah. And I wanted to have kids with him initially.
Yeah.
But it just didn't work out that way. And once I had never seen him blow up like that until that situation happened, and then it obviously happened again. So it just...
So what was your first red flag with him, and how early did it happen in the relationship? Because you were together for 4 years. So when did that red flag appear, and why did you ignore it?
First red flag was when he was sleeping in my bed at my house, and his phone kept going off, and I already knew the phone password, so I went through the phone, and I seen him talking to multiple people, but it was just this one person that I was just like, okay, this one is serious, and it ended up being his ex-girlfriend that he claims is not his ex-girlfriend, but you guys were dealing with each other seriously, so it's obviously that. And I figured out that he was driving her car. That was her car that he was driving and stuff that he was paying on. She had ended up moving away to another state, and so he was paying, I guess, on the car.
Can we arrive at the point here?
But yeah, that was really the first red flag.
Oh, okay, so just him cheating, basically.
Yeah.
Okay. And when was that in the relationship? Because you were together for 4 years. When did that happen?
4 months in, I'm pretty
Oh my
sure.
goodness. I'm so sorry you stayed with him.
And that was after the first abortion. Yeah.
Can I ask something? I'm not saying you were wrong for doing what you did at all. Just a general question. At those clinics, they are supposed to ask, are you being forced into this situation?
Mm-hmm.
Did they ever ask you that?
Yeah, they always did, and I always told them no.
Oh, girl.
Yeah. Just out of fear. So,
Sure. Fear is a very strong motivation.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay, we're going to get to one of the chats that came in earlier. He asked, what are red flags y'all have ignored in the past that you absolutely shouldn't have? We'll start with you. We'll go around the table. So what are red flags you've ignored in the past that you absolutely shouldn't have? Go ahead.
Well, I feel like I touched on it, really, just going through the phone and seeing a bunch of things that should have just been okay, no. Immediately, I should have just been no. So I'll leave it at that.
Well, the fact that I started out as the other woman in the first place, that's a big one.
I would say love bombing and then not taking accountability during arguments. I'd be gaslighted, and I can't argue with crazy, so.
I'd say just being the rebound girl. Yeah.
I'd have to say somebody who doesn't have their own interests and hobbies, and they're kind of clinging on to you, and you're their hobby. So.
I would say a guy who's willing to let me take responsibility and be in charge of everything and wear the pants and pay all the bills and be the grown up. Did that when I was really young. That didn't turn out well. So, yeah.
Yep.
Rachel, do you have a question for them? If not, I got one.
Go ahead.
What do you think are your own red flags? Really quick.
You want to start with you and go around?
For me, coming from not being a healed person, I feel like
Close to like this.
I have definitely done my fair share of damage, and I feel like I always have to one up someone. I don't like losing. I'm an Aries, so I just don't like that. I feel like that's a really big thing, because you could just be a bigger person and just walk away, because silence is really the best revenge.
Okay.
I want to say just that I'm stubborn. I don't always want to admit that I'm wrong. Granted, I'm working on that. I want to be better so I can be better for others.
I get comfortable really, really fast. So if there's something that's negative in the relationship, I can get used to it, because I'm like, okay, it's not that serious. It's not that serious until I blow up.
I'd say I have a difficult time asking for help.
Maybe I have a temper. And I've been working really hard to make sure that I think before I yell.
For me, it was never like promiscuity or anything like that. I never did that. But early on when I was younger, I was like really willful, and same as what all you guys are saying. And I think the takeaway from that is that especially all of us who are born in this day and age as women, we tend to be really willful. We're taught that we should compete with men. We're told that we need to not let anyone control us and not let anybody tell us what to do. And so we feel like we do have to constantly one-up the guy or whatever. I did that too when I was younger. And good wives are not born, they're made. And it was something I had to work on. It was something that I worked on with my husband's help. And we can maybe get into that later. But yeah, I had all the same issues. I had a temper, I was willful, I was competitive, all that stuff when I was young. So
did you guys, was a second question asked?
Yeah.
It was, what are
our red flags? Yeah.
red flags? Okay. I had to get up there for a second, so I missed all your answers. But we have Panda Dan. Ming, it's Dan from First Point. Awesome you're on this pod. Can you get an autograph from Rachel Wilson for me? I loved her book, and she's an amazing debater. Good luck, Ming. See you at Malibu.
Nice.
See ya.
Nice.
Hopefully we'll get some Southwell soon.
You ever surf Leo Carrillo? Secos?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a good spot.
It's okay.
It's actually a really crappy break. You should never go there.
Well, the problem is like it's got that rock, so it's like there's one takeoff spot, and like
Yeah, the rock is really dangerous. You shouldn't go there.
definitely shouldn't surf Secos.
Yeah, definitely.
But it's like if there's more, it suffers from like crowd issues because there's basically one takeoff. So if there's more than like a handful of people out there, it's just it's fucked. It's
Yeah.
fucked.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Rincon's better. Okay. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
Everyone go to Rincon.
Yeah, go to Rincon. All right, cool. I'll answer the question too, I guess. Let me find it. What are red flags y'all have ignored in the past that you absolutely... Ooh, okay. She was a feminist.
L.
Ignored it. Long time ago. Speaking of which, who here considers themselves... I should have maybe asked this first. Who here considers themselves a feminist? So we'll start just one by one. What about you?
I consider myself a feminist.
What about you?
I mean, what is a feminist anymore, if we're being
Rachel?
honest?
Feminist is somebody who believes in egalitarianism or equality between men and women.
I mean, yeah, within...
Is that the charitable?
That's the charitable one.
Sure, I mean, within that definition, sure.
Okay.
Now I want to change my answer because I feel like that is depending on what we're talking about.
Yeah.
Financially, physically, like what are we getting at? But I'm going to just say I'm 50-50 on that.
No, I'm not a feminist.
I'm not a feminist either, but I do want equality in sports, though.
Equality in sports,
Yeah.
meaning like
Paid the same or?
Not paid the same, but
Like co-ed?
I'm very on the fence about it. But as an athlete, I want to be able to make a living doing what I like to do too, and it's really difficult as a woman.
so it's more the financial aspect. Because I was wondering how you feel about the transgender folks who want to compete in women's sports and things like that. How do you feel about that?
I think that we have divisions for a reason. We have a women's division and a men's division for a very specific, and we should have that.
Yeah.
Well, I have some questions on that one. So you said that you want equality in sports.
Well, not equality, but I just want more visibility with women's sports, maybe.
You want more visibility. So what would that look
Opportunity.
like?
More opportunity for us.
Yeah, what does that mean?
Well, I feel like, at least in surfing, and I'm sure it's similar in other sports, you are either maybe the top 3 in the world, and you get a lot of spotlight and you get a lot of attention, or you have to kind of show your body and use that to gain followers and income. So it's just tough in this industry to make a living.
Okay,
And
so
not- yeah.
So when it comes to surfing, right? And when you say you have to be top 3, you're talking about like the women's
Yeah.
professional surfing.
Yeah.
Okay. And so do you think that because one component of surfing, you have sponsorships, but you also have competitions, and typically the person who places the best gets paid more. I
Yeah.
don't know what it is in women's.
It's
I
the
remember
same.
last time I used to watch at least the men's surfing, the first place for like the top surf competitions would typically be like 40, 50,000 for the winner. That was a long time ago though. Maybe
yeah,
it's
that's
increased.
probably with shortboarding too, and I'm a longboarder, so I've
Oh, it's probably even less for
yeah,
longboarding.
yeah. So I really stabbed myself in the foot, or shot myself in the foot there with being a longboarder, because there's really no attention with longboarding.
Let me ask you a question. So on a good day at C Street, surf spot in Ventura, how many people are typically out at a given time? 100, would you say? 100 surfers on a good day?
Maybe 50.
At C Street? Because you have
Just
like,
in the cove or
well, there's the Cove, and then there's like, was it First Point? What's it called?
stables?
Uh,
The Point?
the Point.
Middle lot? The
Sure.
whole.
Well, you got the pier, and then
That's the cove.
I would argue on a good day at C Street, there's going to be like, there can be 100 people at the Cove even.
Sure.
Okay, so how many of those are men typically? Like if there's 100 people out, how many
Probably
women?
90% or more.
Okay. All right. So, and so would you want, for example, women's longboarders to be paid the same as women's shortboarders?
Yeah.
Even though there's like kind of less viewership and demand for watching longboarding compared
Yeah,
to.
I hear what you're saying, and and I agree with you with every other sport but mine.
Well, that's
so it's like,
a little.
I know.
That doesn't make sense.
I know
though.
it doesn't make sense. And I think since I'm so close and personal, and I've been doing it for a very long time, it's hard. But I hear your side, and I agree with your side a lot. And it's just frustrating trying to.
Should women longboarders be paid the same as male shortboarders?
I think if you're competing in the same event, which they never would be, because you never, like a pro event, they would never have longboarders and shortboarders at the same event. But if you are competing in the same event on the same, actually, let me think about that. If you're, okay, so for example, I watched the Pipe Master Pro, and I definitely think whoever is surfing pipeline, when it's huge, they definitely deserve to get the pay that they get, and which is a lot more than longboarders, because that is like you're risking your life. So I don't think we should get paid the same as somebody who is literally dropping in onto like reef breaks, and it's life, they're risking their life. So depending on the situation.
Well, let's even assume that the women's competition, like it's, you're saying within the same competition. Let's just assume that the women are even surfing bigger waves, and the men are surfing like head-high trestles, right? Even when the men are surfing head-high trestles and the women are surfing like overhead, some Hawaii break or something, there's still going to be more viewership for the men's competition, even in
there
surfing.
will be, yeah.
So, I mean, wouldn't the argument just be that, well, there's more viewership there, that means there's more sponsorship dollars. The sponsors, whether it's Quicksilver, Billabong, Rip Curl, whatever the surf sponsorship is, they make more money from the men's competition, so they have more money to
So
put
there's definitely
towards.
more viewership, but women sell way more things. So there might be viewership, but women longboarders or women surfers, we are able to market ourselves in different ways, and we should be getting, I think, more views.
I'm going to put you, yeah, perfect. All right, guys, we got two. Maddie, you want to take your seat back here? Grab the hat. Continue with your point, then we'll have our new guests introduce themselves.
I don't really have a,
Oh, okay.
that was kind of it. I've been wishy-washy with this for a very long time, and it's hard for me to like, because I hear what you're saying, the viewership,
Sure.
I get that,
Okay.
but there's, yeah.
Okay, well, moving on then. Can we have you guys introduce yourselves? So name, age, occupation, and where you're from, starting with you. Oh, yeah, and we do, since you guys are just joining us, we do need you guys speaking up close, as close to you can as to the mic, like that close. Go ahead.
Okay. Hello, my name is Jada. I'm 18 years old. Sorry. I came from Guam. My dad's in the military, and now I'm a college student at UC Santa Barbara.
What are you studying?
I'm a pre-bio major.
Pre-bio, okay. And you said you're from Guam. Were you born there?
No, I was born in San Diego, but we had to move a lot because,
He was in the military? What branch of the military? Navy?
yes, Navy.
Okay. All right. So you've spent some time on Guam,
Yes.
like
About-
high school or something, or
Yeah, about 3 years.
okay. How far? Like that's what's the population? It's like 50,000 or something.
I think about 100,000.
Oh, 100,000. Okay. All right. All right. And you?
Hi, my name's Anusha. I'm also a first year at Santa Barbara, UCSB. I grew up in Sri Lanka, but I moved here from Sacramento.
All right. What are you studying at UCSB?
I'm also a pre-bio major.
Pre-bio. Okay. And then we're going to ask also both of your current relationship status. So are you like single, talking stage, situationship? Starting with you.
Okay. I have a boyfriend. We've been together for about 2 years. So we got together in junior year.
Can I have you tilt your mic down a little bit?
Yeah.
Perfect. 2 years. Okay. And you said you got together, what was that?
In our junior year.
Of high school.
Mhm.
Okay. What about you?
I'm single.
All right. Have you ever been in a relationship?
No.
How long I was going to say how long have you been single, but your whole life then?
Yeah, basically.
Okay, we'll say single for 18 years. And then let's see. What's the longest period of time that have you been on a first date, for example?
No, I haven't been on a first date or anything.
Huh?
No.
Do you party at all on the weekends?
A little, yeah.
Okay. What's the extent of your dating experience?
Well,
Like, have you had a casual thing, a fling, anything like that?
well, this summer I was in Sweden and I went out a bit and like I kissed some guys, but like that's about it. Like,
Some hot Swedish dudes?
yeah.
Yeah. Blue hair, blonde eye. What? Okay. And you're a freshman at UCSB, correct?
Yeah.
You haven't done like any partying because UCSB is the #1 party school, right? So
Yeah, I mean,
no partying.
we've gone out a bit. We partied a bit, but
Any frat boys
no, not really.
here and there? Nothing. Okay. So at least here in the U.S., nothing.
Not really.
Like even like a one night hookup. Nothing. Okay. All right. Are you on any dating apps?
No.
Sexual orientation?
Straight.
Straight? Okay. All right. Are you looking for anything, or are you kind of just focused on school right now?
I mean, I'm not like closed off to it or anything, but like I'm not like actively looking.
Okay, cool. Great. Well, welcome, guys. Thank you guys for joining us kind of midway through here. So getting right back into it, I'm going to pull up a super chat that came through. We had Darren Jones. Could I have you read this one?
But me?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. The glory of God is that he lives and creates life. The peak opposite is to have his own creation, to kill itself and deny his best feature of creating life.
Okay, Darren. All right. Thank you, Darren Jones. Appreciate it, man. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for the super chat. Yeah, guys, go to twitch.tv/whatever. Twitch.tv/whatever. Nick, if you're able to pull up the thing in the Streamlabs, yep, go there, guys. If you have Amazon Prime, you can link it to your Twitch. It's a quick, free, easy way to support the show every single month. And if you can, guys, I don't know if any Twitch Prime in the chat? Okay. Thank you, guys. Appreciate it. So we were going around the table. I think we were just asking, like, on the feminism thing. I think we ended with you. Then we started talking about surfing differential in pay in surfing. Would you guys consider yourselves feminists?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Got it. Okay. Rachel, what about you?
No, I would not consider myself a feminist.
Why is that?
Because I think that patriarchy is the natural order of things and it's inescapable. And if you want to try to be a feminist, you're going to have a really hard time because it's simply not actually possible for us to have anything besides a patriarchy. And we can get into why that is if anybody wants to.
Does anybody have any qualms with?
Can you define patriarchy for those that don't know?
Sure. Yeah, patriarchy literally just means rule by the father.
Awesome.
So it just generally means men are the rulers and organizers in the home, in society, in the church, in the government.
And this has I mean, we're dating talk show, but this
Right.
absolutely has implications when it comes to dating, gender roles, that sort of thing. Someone who's a bit more feminist might prefer a bit more of an egalitarian relationship, 50-50, that sort of thing. Or at least that's what it would appear to be. She's for patriarchy. Hot take from Rachel here. Does
I have
anybody
something.
here
Yeah.
object to Rachel's position?
So I don't know if I object, but I want to bring up a point. Does everybody know who Lilith is?
Yes, she's in my book.
I love this. How do you feel about, period. How do you feel about her?
Lilith?
She's a demon, so
She's
I
one
think
that-
she's
yeah.
a vengeful goddess figure. Feminists love her. She tends to be a feminist icon because she takes vengeance on men. She sometimes SAs them in their sleep and then
the fuck?
murders their babies, the offspring.
fuck?
Yeah.
Is this like, I don't know, Diablo 4? Is it Diablo 4? Is that the one from
Diablo?
Diablo?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The game?
Yes.
Yeah.
She's kind of hot, not gonna lie.
Yeah, she bites men's heads
They're
off pretty
always
much.
hot.
So.
Yeah, they're always hot.
But basically, the idea behind her, I guess, was that she was the first. I like the story about her. But now it's funny. Let me just say this. She was there before Eve. It was Adam and Lilith. She's made out of the same stuff as Adam. And she was like, why do I have to submit to you if we're made out of the same stuff? And then she left the Garden of Eden.
Yeah, she would not get underneath Adam.
Yeah.
And so she flew off into the sky and then down into the ocean, and they tried to bring her back. And there's like a whole lore
She's like,
behind
hell no.
it. They think that the legend was actually like post-Christianity, more of a like first few centuries after Christianity, Judaism type of a lore where it came from, but depends how you feel about that. But why do you think that she's cool? Like, what do you like about her?
So I'll say this. One, I have a song called Lilith. It's actually, there's a music video and everything. But I actually do feel different about it now. I'm kind of going through this phase where I was in my toxic relationship and I was in a stage of where I wanted to free myself. And like, I understood that, like, why am I submitting to someone that I don't feel is a leader? I'll say that. But now that I think about it, it's like there are men that are leaders. And if you put yourself in that position, it's a different woman. But the woman that I felt that I related to was her because I was in a situation where I'm like, I shouldn't submit to this man.
Why did you not want to submit to that guy? What was it about him?
He didn't feel like I didn't respect him enough.
Why?
Because he was almost like full of air. I'll give you that. Where it's like he felt as though he was more respectable than he actually was.
So do you feel like he wasn't responsible, or he didn't have his stuff together, or like
That, just kind of flying off the rails all the time.
not in control of his emotions?
Yeah.
That'll dry your panties up quick.
Very much so. I said, I'm going to leave this garden. Yeah.